So, one thing I know a lot of people are disappointed about in Chivalry, including myself, is that it's pretty hard to cancel an attack into a parry. It's not hard to just do it while you're standing still and there's nobody around you, but while you're in combat, it can get a little difficult to get the timing right because you gotta do the double click, and you know, it's not really optimal the way that they have it set up initially. But I found out that through some clever key bindings, you can do this, and you can do a lot more stuff too. But this video is just going to talk about this mainly. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, basically it's this. All I have to do in order to do this is to do two inputs. That's left mouse, right mouse, one right after the other. And it makes my guy start his swing, and then immediately after starting it, as soon as I press the right mouse, he'll interrupt it with a parry. And it's just two inputs, and I don't have to double click or do anything like that, so all my timing is really simple. I just figured this out today. I haven't actually played with it in game, but I do know that it works because I tested it on a dual server. The only drawback to this, of course, is that you have to bind a separate key for feinting normally. You know, if I want to do a feint and then re-attack after that, do a second attack, I have to have a second key for that. But that's not a big deal, and I'll show you why it's not a big deal. So here's the key binding setup for it. The important part is here, all of these things that are bound to right mouse, it's actually just these two. Parry is normally on right mouse, so that's okay. And then this is actually different. This is default bound to Q, but I switched it over to right mouse, and that's the important binding. That has to be wherever your parry key is. If that's wherever your parry key is, whenever you click parry, it will first cancel any kind of attack that it can cancel. But keep in mind, you know, it can only cancel an attack that's winding up. It can't cancel anything that you can't normally cancel. And then this feint right here is the melee only version. This is actually, by default, bound to right click. But I think that might be a mistake on their part, or I'm not really sure why. So I just changed this to my normal parry key. So pressing this key will just do a feint without doing anything afterward. So you can choose to parry afterward if you want, or you can do a regular attack. And then you'll also notice that I put this on the same key as a kick, shove, whatever you want to call it. And that's basically just so that I can free up some space. I don't have to have so many different key bindings. You notice I can also put projectile camera there too. Those two things have no conflict, because while you're attacking, you can't actually do a kick, and while you are kicking, you can't do a parry. So you're not going to have any problems with that. And then when you've got the bow out, you can't do a kick, or when you've got the bow out, you can't do a parry anyway. So let's see if I can try this on this guy. And hey, that worked out really well.